So today we could talk carburetors a little bit. I ordered a new carburetor for my tractor. I put it on here. And when I got through, I left the gas on. Well, for the first thing, it didn't really run as good with the new carburetor on it as I was hoping. I couldn't get it to run smoothly, which kind of surprised me. And I messed around with adjustments and different things, and I finally just said, well, I'll let it sit. And as a test, I let it sit with the gas on, because before it would leak a little gas if I left the gas on. So I walked down here later and had a huge bunch of gas. You can see the little outline. I probably lost a lot of gas here. So it was leaking big time, much more than the old carburetor did. And I went to, well, I did a couple things. I put a new on and off switch in the line so that instead of having to crawl up under the dash there, I shouldn't say the dash, crawl up under the gas tank with a screwdriver, I could just cut it on and off from here. That way. But the other thing is, when I went to crank it this morning, it really wouldn't run that great. I'm actually thinking I might put the old carburetor back on it. I'll let you hear it run. You can tell me what you think. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Choke it a little. It's just not running smooth. It's kind of like, not sure what to make of that. I'm just going to cut the gas off and let it run itself dry. Didn't take long. So, I mean, I know I could put fresh points in it, and put plugs in it and do a few things like that, which we probably should have done anyway. Clean out the air cleaner, such as that. But, you know, it's running better on the old carb than it is on the new. And I'm about half tempted just to put the old carb back on there. And with this cutoff switch, the whole reason I put it on there was to keep it from leaking, and obviously that didn't work. So maybe I was better off with the other one on there. Anyway, so what do we want to do about this? Well, maybe I will just put that old carburetor right back on there. It's warm, but it's not hot. Yeah, I'll just put the old one right back on there. Maybe, do a couple things here. I think that carburetor is on the bench up there. And I don't think I need anything more than an open end 1/2-inch wrench and the screwdriver to change this. So I think I need an open end 1/2-inch and an open end 3/8 or 7/16. I'm gonna get it and we'll try it. I think this is gonna be a pretty basic do here. All I gotta do is loosen this, this is just an air hose. The air comes out of the breather. This is a canister breather here. Looks like it might be an oil breather. I haven't messed with it much. I haven't messed with a lot of things on here much, which I could do if I was really wanted to. I could put plugs in it, put points in it. But you know, the idea that it was actually running well before I took that carburetor off, and it wasn't when I put it back on, is leading me to think that I don't want to start reworking the whole tractor just for the sake of using a new carburetor. I'd rather, if it was running well enough with the old carburetor, and it actually was running pretty good, then it doesn't make sense to me to start trying to reinvent the wheel to use a new one. Now this old one has a bowl on it, which I like, instead of, well, it has a, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have that filter. This one also has an old-fashioned glass bowl, which I think is cool. I consider that to be a plus, and that looks like it might be a 9/16, which if it is, there's luck because I have one here. There's no hurry to put that on though. Let's see, I can take and that's another reason to keep the old carburetor, is to keep that old bowl. I mean, it's just a cool thing to have on your old 57 Ford tractor, to have the old original carburetor with a glass bowl instead of, you know, which is basically, that took the place of a filter, because the dirt in the carburetor would sink to the bottom of the bowl, and then it would pull gas out of the high side of the bowl. I could clean that bowl out. Or not. I mean, maybe if I clean the bowl out, sometimes they have a seal on there that's really hard to, I may just leave that. I may just leave that alone. As she ran as good as she was running. You know, sometimes there's that thing about, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Might be good not to fix it if it ain't broke. Sometimes you get into things you don't want to get into when you start fixing things you don't need to. Is that a saying? If it ain't, it should be. Sometimes you get into things you don't need to get into if you start fixing things you don't need to. I like that. I might just call that my own and start saying it. Next time Honey Baby tells me to do something I don't want to do it, I just say, well, you know, you might get into things you don't want to if you start doing things you don't need to. No, that ain't right, is it? Anyway, I think I might be taking it a little bit in the wrong direction, but we'll just pull this carb, see how easy it was to get off. Oh, and we got these little attachments on the back, they just pull and slide over a ball there, so they should come right off. You push them and slide them over a ball. Yeah, what I might do is just send a message to the people who sold me that carb and just say, hey, that carb you sent me didn't work that well. I'm not happy with it. I don't think I want to use it. I'm so unhappy I took it off and put my old one back on. So, yeah, I might do that. We'll see. Anyway. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing here. Sometimes I need my glasses to see what I'm doing. Sometimes I can get away without it, but not always. Sometimes I need it. Yep. There you go. Okay, is that on there? There you go. That's on there now. And then we get this one on here. And then we'll stick this right back up in here. I got a couple little washers on it. Hello?
Hi, this is David.
Hi, David. Is that all? Is that it? Hi, this is David. I had a brother named David, but he's dead. I don't think you're him, David. So, I bet you he was going to tell me my warranty's gone bad. There's a lot of people in the world that are worried about my warranty, and they call me. They call me up from time to time. They say, hey, you know your warranties might be bad. You need to call us so we can fix that. We can write you up a brand new warranty, and you just send us money. Give us your name, address, social security number, date of birth, mother's maiden name, and your DNA. Send us a copy of your DNA, spit in the jar, and then we'll give you a warranty package like you ain't never seen before. Oh, it'll just be a marvelous thing. Yeah, I get those messages like that. I sure do. So far, I've managed to live without getting me one of them fancy dancy warranty things. So I just somehow have gotten by. Just somehow gotten by without it. Imagine that. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk you could get through life without a warranty? I mean, come on. Let's get real here. Alrighty. Corina. Yeah, a lot of y'all ain't old enough to remember that song. That came out when I was just a little kid. Corina. Where you been so long? Corina. I'm guessing the copyright on that song is already expired, because usually if it's over 50 years old, I don't think copyright lasts longer than that. I have to tighten them one at a time, otherwise it'll get sideways. It won't work. That might be what. Well, no, I was careful with that other one when I put it on. I don't think I did it wrong. Corina. Where you been so long? I never knew anybody named Corina except for Martin Luther King's wife, and I don't know her. I just heard of her. I'm old enough to remember the day he got shot too. I got a story about that I could tell you, but well, I don't know if I should tell you. It's bad. It's a bad story. Bad story from my life. A lot of young folks think they got bad times happening. Of course, with all this going on in Ukraine, maybe so. They might be about to find out what it's like. Between that and people trying to overthrow the government. But I do have a bad story from my life, and it has to do with the day Martin Luther King got killed. And the day, it was some dark days in my life. The day Kennedy got killed. They shot John Lennon down the street, and Bobby Kennedy. The whole Vietnam War. Jeez Louise. We had our share in my generation, and I got a feeling that y'all young folks, I hope not, but it may be that y'all gonna have your share too. I'd like to hope better things for you, but you just never know till you live it. Of course, the other side of that is make strong people when you live through adversity. See, I believe if you don't have adversity, then you'll make up things to be upset about. And I think that's what we've been doing in this country for a long time. A lot of people who ain't got nothing to complain about just invent problems. And they cry about how bad it is. But then when you get to real problems, the nice thing about real problems is it tends to unite people. When people have real problems, they stop fighting over in made up, non-existent problems. And they realize that they realize we all need each other. That's the bottom line right there. We all do need each other. We all do need to get along. None of us need to be tearing down nobody else for whatever it is. We need to be more understanding, more forgiving. And that's not just a nice hood either, that's the truth. That right there's the truth. We need for our own good and for everybody else's too, to be more forgiving and to be nicer to each other. That thing's trying to cross thread on me every way it can. I ain't gonna let it, but it wants to. Come on now, behave now. Don't be ugly. Don't be ugly. Don't be ugly now. Corina, Corina, where you been so long? Corina, Corina, where you been so long? I ain't had nobody since you've been gone. Corina, Corina. Oh, that's cross-threading on there. I see it now. It's not good. It's not good. I can't have that. That's not good. Oops. I didn't mean to let that happen. Corina, Corina. Corina, Corina. Corina, Corina. Where you been so long? All right, y'all want to see how that runs? Take all this other stuff and put it in the box over here. Let's see. Let's see about this here. Go ahead and tighten that up yet. I had a real good day yesterday. I've got an old, well, I don't have an old, I used to have an old Ruger 22 pistol, 22 automatic. When them first came out, they called it the Ruger Standard. And then they came out with Mach 1, Mach 2, Mach 3. I don't know what the differences were in each one, but each one was a little different. I gave away my Ruger Standard, and then a while back somebody had a Mach 3 that wouldn't work. It was jammed and they couldn't fix it. So I bought it from them and brought it home. I kind of figured I had a good idea what was wrong with it. And I was right. Those things are tricky if you take one apart to clean it. It's real easy to get it back together or not be able to get it back together. But if you do get it back together, it won't work. Now I had figured my old one out years ago. I've made a video about it. And I went online looking at everybody else's videos and I couldn't find any of them that would tell me how to fix that. So I found my old video and it did tell me how to fix it. I was pretty happy about that because I did what I said to do and it worked. That was good. That runs better than it did with that other carburetor. Now what I need to do is get me a couple of small clamps for here and here and here. I'll go see if I can find me some. I can tell that's not very good right there. And if that went to leaking right over that alternator, that could cause a fire. We don't want no fire. No, we don't. Let's see, I got a clamp box up there. Let's see if we can find a little tiny one for that.